Welcome, supers, to this Biz Coach Reacts video. Let's go.
3. Oh my God.
For over Jon Taffer has traveled the country, saving hundreds of bars from failure and ruin. And he thought he'd seen it all until the COVID-19 pandemic hit.
Look, I've met terrible owners, unruly staffs, out-of-control financing, but I've never seen anything like this.
And no business was hit harder than America's hospitality industry.
Thousands of bars have closed already, and more are going to close. America is built on small businesses, and I want to fight to keep as many bars open as I possibly can.
So now, Jon's not only rescuing struggling businesses, he's trying to save an entire industry, one bar at a time.
Failure is not an option. No excuses.
So this season, Jon's starting with the hospitality capital of the world and the place he calls home, Las Vegas.
This is now personal to me. I cannot let them down.
In 2016, Jon Taffer rescued Champagne's Cafe in Las Vegas.
Greg borrowed $150,000 from his mother. You want to be a loser? Because you're acting like one, aren't you? I need help.
Jon focused on giving the bar a new vintage theme to complement its history. He added new classic cocktails to the menu and trained Greg's amateur staff.
Okay, we're good.
In the end, Jon created a bar that paid homage to its rich past.
Yes!
This is so good!
Yeah, my worst friend, buddy.
It's been 5 years since Jon rescued us the first time. After Jon left, we got an immediate boost of about 40% in sales. I made over $100,000 that year. Everything was hitting on all cylinders.
For 4 years after Jon's rescue, Champagne's continued to boast growing revenue until the COVID-19 pandemic struck in March 2020.
The pandemic shut us down twice. First shutdown, that was definitely devastating. I basically relied on unemployment to pay my bills.
But despite the lack of employment, Greg's staff remained loyal to Champagne's and to honoring the legacy of the bar.
5 years ago, I had just started right when Jon Taffer saved our bar, and here I am still. I love this bar. It carries history, and also I have a loyalty to Greg.
I had lost a good 80% of our personal income from my family. So I'm extremely grateful that Greg is allowing us to be still part of the business.
When we reopened the first time, I bartended 7 days a week. That was exhausting. When we closed down the second time, I started driving rideshare. I really thought it was over for the bar. I didn't see any way that I was ever going to survive that. When we reopened the second time, I basically just quit paying myself at the bar and used that savings to pay my bills.
Now driving rideshare full-time to make a living, Greg is largely absent from his bar.
You know what we also need? Pineapple juice.
We're having a few inventory problems just because I haven't found time with all the driving.
With its owner behind a different sort of wheel, the bar's standards that Jon implemented during his first rescue are slipping.
I don't think Jon would be entirely satisfied with anything he sees in this place. He wouldn't be too happy about the old sign being back up. I think he would just kind of be like, man, he couldn't maintain something.
Now, Greg's debt is mounting as he struggles to keep the doors open.
I have about 35 grand in loans, and I still owe my mom over $120,000.
Before Champagne's and its 60-year history fizzle out,
God damn it.
Greg has agreed to pull back the doors, bust open the books, and make a call for help. Again, to bar rescue.
I want to continue to be a steward of this legacy. Jon, I'm asking for your help one more time to save this bar.
I mean, it's incredible that Jon, I mean, I think Jon's only done 1 or 2 bar rescues where he's gone back to that bar that he already rescued to help. I think it was there was a sports bar, like the baseball one or something like that, that I can think of off the top of my head. So for him to go back to this bar, I mean, coincidentally, it's in Vegas. And look, I give a lot of credit to Greg for, you know, doing what he had to do to survive, you know, going and doing ride sharing or, you know, driving for Uber or Lyft or whatever, and making that happen. And you know, credit to his staff for sticking it out with him. Obviously, they like him. Though the thing that stands out to me is why would you put the old sign back up? I mean, that seems like a weird thing to just go and do, because I mean, he probably had to hire a sign guy to do that, so he spent money most likely on making that happen.
I'm heading to Champagne's Cafe to do something I've only tried to do once before in the history of bar rescue.
Well,
Save
that
a
was
bar
right.
for the
There
second
you go.
time. I am an asshole, but you're a bigger asshole.
Yeah,
The
second
difference
base.
is,
There you go.
Success. You have shit. The last time I attempted
That guy was insane. It was not good at all.
to save a bar twice, it didn't go so well. The owner was looking for a handout, and I wasn't going to help someone who wouldn't even help himself. But I'm really hoping this time things will be a bit different. This bar is 55 years old and has been visited by some of Las Vegas's most iconic performers, as well as some iconic gangsters.
My name is Frank Collada. I'm the boss for Tony Spaccio. We ran organized crime in the state of Nevada. We needed to go somewhere to talk. We would come to this place.
Yes, wallpaper! I was incredibly proud of the work we did at Champagne's 5 years ago.
Oh my God.
And the transformation that Greg and his staff went through. Greg was a good owner with a great heart. So when I heard that Champagne's was in danger of closing, I had to come find out if it's because of the pandemic or because Greg went back to his old ways. Hi. Hi, Jen. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
For the kitchen, Jon brings in Chef Jennifer Murphy, a 15-year veteran of Las Vegas fine dining, who has overseen kitchens at the Bellagio, MGM Grand, and Caesar's Palace.
Buddy, how are you?
Doing well. It's good to see you.
Good to see you, too.
For the bar, Jon brings in Phil Wilms, an award-winning mixologist and cocktail consultant for some of the country's most well-known establishments.
So we're at Champagne's. I rescued this bar 5 years ago. And I did, Jen, because it's a famous, historic Las Vegas bar. And mobsters used to hang out here. The wise guys all used to hang out here. So when we did his rescue, he did great. Some of his numbers were terrific, went through the roof. Now, of course, pandemic. In the toilet, he's losing $10,000 a month. Wow. But you know, I came here 5 years ago. I remodeled his bar, put in new equipment, new everything, put a new sign up and all. And he went and put up the old sign. When the new sign was actually more readable.
And yeah, the sign is like half the lit up as it is. That's not good.
He'd go to the expense of putting up that sign, but yet he didn't have the money to survive the pandemic. So I wonder where he spends his money, how he spends his money, and if the pandemic is at fault or if his decisions are at fault. So I'm hoping the two of you can go take a look. I'm going to go watch in my command center.
Sounds good. Thanks, sir.
Here I am in my new command center. Good look at the dining room there. It looks exactly like I left it. Furniture's the same. That wallpaper is still there. The pictures are there that I hung.
You got it.
There's Greg, the owner. He's playing waiter. He's making drinks. You know, it's nice to see Greg is actually engaged. He might have actually learned something when I was here 5 years ago.
See if he actually knows how to make the drinks.
There's Raleigh, the bartender. And Chris, the bartender on that monitor. Wow. No strainer. So right out of the gate, the guy doesn't know what the hell he's doing. All right, let's see what they got.
Thank you.
Now there's Jen and Phil.
Let's get some drinks.
Yes.
What can I get for you?
I'll have the old-fashioned, please.
I'll do the bee's knees. Bee's knees, you got it.
What do you think of the nice chipped wood in front of you on that bar nose?
Yeah, if you look at this, it looks like it hasn't been painted.
Could use a fresh layer.
Yeah.
$6 worth of paint would have straightened that out.
No, but you're right. It's such a simple fix. It's always paying attention to the details of the details.
I'm surprised he would send Phil in because of the fact that he's been on the show so many times. I don't recall. I think maybe I've seen Jennifer on the show like once or twice. But Phil, I mean, yeah, he's been on the show so many times. I'm really surprised that Jon would send him in.
Making drinks? Now, there's only like 4 customers in this whole bar, but it seems chaotic.
They're all just working out of one well. Just kind of going over each other.
Got space down there.
I'm sure Jon didn't, and I don't remember from the first time I saw the first rescue, but I'm sure they did not leave them with just one well to work out of.
There's got to be another one.
There goes 1 ounce of booze.
You're pouring profits down the drain.
Unbelievable.
Why is this coming out like this?
What are you doing, Greg? What are you doing?
Oh man!
Oh,
What is that?
You almost put the caramel in there.
Yeah, you better pay attention, or at least have your stuff labeled so that you can tell what it is.
Right. Mise en place. Just like in the kitchen.
Absolutely.
You know? Have everything set in place. You have everything labeled and fixed. Start your old fashioned bee's knees.
Cheers.
Yeah, let's see what Phil thinks.
Spit him out.
This is very acidic. It tastes a lot of gin, so the balance of it is way off. One question I have for you that I noticed though. Are you wearing lipstick?
I am.
Is that your lip?
I hope so.
Me too. I saw that when you just put it down, so I'm not sure if that is
Oh,
yours.
that's going to be a problem for me. It's not like there's a pandemic going on right now. That's scary, man.
If that's not Jen's color, she's got to send that back.
Can you do me a favor? Yeah, just there's lipstick on the glass.
Oh, I'm so sorry. It's fine. I'd just like a new one, please.
All right, now let's see how he makes this.
Makes you question their cleanliness and their safety protocols.
Yeah.
There's brand new tongs.
Those are like kitchen tongs.
They're not garnish tongs.
Looks like some flavored bitters, maybe an orange bitters.
You put bitters in. However, you put orange bitters in.
The menu says cherry bitters.
Yeah.
So there's no cherry flavor whatsoever to this. A bourbon whiskey. Another drop of whiskey. He didn't like his pour.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Appreciate you. Thank you.
All right, take 2. It's a bit strong.
Yep, because there's more whiskey in it.
There's just inconsistency following the recipes, and everything should be consistent. Everything should be coming out the same.
But these bartenders don't know what they're doing. They don't seem to have the proper tools or the right training.
Yeah, you're exactly right, John.
So Greg is just missing all the details. He has an upscale facility that's classic, but he's pulling it down.
I'm going to ask them if they have a food menu.
Okay, before she goes and gets a food menu, I want to point out, like, the pandemic has put so many of us on hold. No matter what kind of business you have, you're not in the routine, right? Even the biggest of companies that have the most amount of processes and everything down to a science, like Disney, right? As an example, they have their own issues too of trying to get making sure that all of the employees, all the team members are on the same page and are up to speed with the way things were, like pre-pandemic, prior to, shutting down for several months, or in the case of Disneyland opening up soon, or actually just recently opening. It's like, yeah, you have these employees, you're bringing them back and awesome, but like, what are you doing to train them again? Because they are rusty, right? I have friends that are DJs, right? And they are rusty too, right? They haven't been DJing out, for like the last year or so. And now they're getting back out there and doing events and on the regular. And, it just, you can practice all you want while you're, at home, but until you're actually in it with the stuff set up the way it is, or mislabeled in the case of what's going on here, it's just not the same. So you really got to make sure that you're putting a big effort into training your team members as they come back out through the pandemic.
Hey there.
Yeah.
Quick question for you. Do you have a food menu I can look at?
I don't have food.
You don't have food?
Yeah, dude, I've tried to get the food up and running once before, and I just keep running into roadblocks. I technically do not meet the requirements to have a restaurant license. That's the main problem. I don't have enough parking is the biggest thing. I don't have enough bathrooms.
He might be right, but that doesn't mean there isn't a solution. I want to go and enjoy this conversation.
Go get him, John.
Oh my God. Hey. John walked in, I was walking towards him to seeing him, and I was like, oh, keep your head down and go around.
Greg, will you have a moment?
Coming
Your
right
old
to you.
buddy is here.
How you doing, John? It's good to see you.
It's good to see you too. Two good friends of mine, Jen and Phil Wilson. So, you and I had a great week together now, almost 5 years ago, was it? He's just an idiot on mommy's money. See, he doesn't give a What are you saying now?
Yeah, next week it'll be 5 years, I think.
5 years, wow, almost to the day.
Yeah.
How far in debt? How much money did you lose this year?
Yeah, in the past year, I've lost probably about $55,000.
Wow. So your debt has increased since I saw you last time then?
Yes.
So where did you get that?
Just borrowed.
Just kept borrowing.
Yeah.
Wow. So what do you think now? So now you're in a hole. We're starting to open up.
It's scary. It's like even when it comes back, it's still got a big hole to dig out of,
You got a beautiful bar, but you're cheapening it. You know better. We've been through this before.
I know. It's just hard to, with not a lot of time, it's just been really hard to try to keep on top of those details.
I don't have the time. Oh, John, I'm doing this. I'm trying to... No f***ing excuses if we're together. I don't have the time. Oh, John, I'm doing this. I'm trying to... No f***ing excuses if we're together.
Absolutely.
I suppose that's fair, yeah.
Okay? You can do better than this.
I agree.
You're a good guy. And this is a cool historic bar. And this bar should continue. And I'd like to see you to continue owning it. And I'd still like to see you get your mom paid back and everything. But I got to come in here aggressively again, retrain everybody, redo everything, set you up for success. We've got to get a food program in here, Greg.
I agree.
And I understand there are legal issues, but I have one of the most creative food people in the entire city here in Jana.
When John came in, he noticed a lot of mistakes that I made, that my employees made. And of course, all that stuff is on me. I haven't been able to stay on top of those details. And it's time for me to get back into this bar.
Jen, we got to figure out.
And it is tough, right? On Greg, he's worried about survival. He's doing ride sharing. He's trying to make sure that the bills are getting paid. He's not taking any money out of the business. The sign thing out front still kind of worries me a bit in the sense that you're having trouble making the bills. You don't have a lot of people coming through. Apparently, you don't legally meet the requirements for a food program, but you had one before, so that's always a bit disturbing. But so it's just a lot of those little things. It's like all the little things stack up, and then put you in a position where it's like, yeah, we're there, we're doing it. He's not like, oh, I'm not. I just have just given up on this and it's over and whatever, and everybody can just do whatever they want. I don't care. But the little things, the stress is stacked up, and then you start dropping the ball on the little details, right? Like like, oh, should we paint the rail? Yeah, probably. But if things aren't running smoothly and money's not coming in, then it's like, maybe. But then you got to go back to the sign. The sign got replaced back to what it was, and that's not a cheap expenditure.
Legally, what the heck to do here? So let us go do our work. I'll see you in the morning. No freaking excuses. You with me? No excuses.
I'm with you 100%.
And clean that bar up.
Last night watching Champagnes, I was pretty disappointed. They let the quality drop. We put an upscale cocktail program, upscale uniforms, and it all seems to have disappeared. So today, I want to address that. Hey, guys.
Oh, hey.
Let's talk, guys. I want to find out how Greg let all this fall apart. I also want to address the poor cost for the bartenders. Not only are they not generating revenue, but they're losing money on the little bit of revenue that they even have. Yeah. So I came in here last night. We have sort of an elevated cocktail program. You guys agree? We sort of have an elevated room, right, with our wallpaper, right, all of our finishings. And then I see you behind a bar in a sweatshirt with those signs. Those are exactly the same signs that you see on the end of a merchandising rack at a liquor store. So, yes, it cheapens the place, absolutely. And then I look at things like this. I mean, how much is a gallon of paint, guys? $6?
Yeah.
These are the details that I'm going to beat you up on this week, and you know better. So, did you get a little lazy this year, maybe?
I don't know if I would call myself lazy. I got distracted. I didn't know I got to a point just mentally with everything that was going on. I just wasn't putting in the effort or focusing on the right things.
I hear you. And so many friends of mine, Greg, who were almost paralyzed by this, stunned by it. We almost didn't know what to do, so we sort of froze. Did that sort of happen?
I did freeze for a while, especially in the beginning. Yeah. I didn't see any way out, and I was pretty much frozen.
Yeah. How has the past year been for you? Tell me your story.
It's been a little rough without being able to, come to work or make a little bit of money, And then I also play in a rock and roll band, and all the music industry was all shut down.
Everything.
The bar industry was shut down, and I had 2 forms of income, and they went gone.
Wow.
I live at home. I have my wife and my daughter. And
so you got family to support.
Yeah, I got family to support, and we're trying to rake in what we can. But we went through 3 years of savings within the first 6 months.
Sure, I bet you did. Wow, thank God you had that savings.
Thank God.
Well, you really would have been
so tough. That's so tough. Look, when you're shut down, that's when you should be looking. I mean, there's so many restaurants here where I live in South Jersey, outside of Philadelphia, that when the pandemic shut down, they went in and they eventually found a way to be open and stay open. But a lot of them went and did these kind of minor upgrades, right? Do refresh the paint and things like that, where it's like, look, it could be difficult to okay, I'm going to paint, do a bunch of painting and stuff, but then people can't use it. So it's like, when do I do it? Are we closed? Like, are we closed on Mondays? Well, this is Vegas. So like a lot of places are open 24/7, 7 days a week. So it's hard to find that time to be like, okay, when can we paint this and make sure that it gets dried before, customers come back in. But that's the opportunity. Like, you always want to look for the silver lining in business and in life, and that is one of those silver linings that, like, oh, we could do those things. Doesn't cost a ton of money, and it just like going out and doing social media promotion and stuff, just so you stay fresh in the top of people's minds in the process of all the issues that are going on. So many businesses that I was tracking through the pandemic, they and ones that I work with, they all found ways to, like, let me jump on Facebook Live and do this or that. Let me tweak the business, pivot the business a little bit so we could stay open, so we could keep going, and stay relevant. So I think that if you're not doing, and if you don't feel like you're doing enough to be able to continue to stay relevant, then you're going to end up way worse off than Champagnes here. And I mean, not that they're doing great at the time of the filming of this or earlier this year, but it really will consume you, because you get further and further away from the situation, and things start to seem defeating, and that's difficult for anybody to deal with, let alone a business owner.
Is this an exciting opportunity for you?
This is like giving a fresh breath of air into my second home.
I can see why you feel this way. This is a pretty special place. You can feel it when you're in it, Greg. This place has a feeling all of its own.
I agree, yeah.
So how has this year been for you?
Same for me as him. I'm supporting more than one person. I have 2 jobs. To get that ripped out from under you, it hurts a lot.
Yeah, unbelievable. I want to show you guys something.
I want to show you guys something that you can leave a comment below, like Cute on You. It says your reaction videos are hilarious. I appreciate that. I'm constantly trying my best to bring an edutainment value to this channel. And if you're enjoying it, please make sure you smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm so we can get this video in the hands of more super entrepreneurs. Make sure you get subscribed so you never miss another Biz Coach Reacts video. And if you want to learn how you can rocket your sales, I'll just do that now. If you want to learn how to rocket your sales, click the link in the description below, superjoepardo.com/rocket, and get my free sales rocket guide. It's got 5 proven methods that I use when I work with business owners and entrepreneurs one-on-one to grow their sales. Go to superjoepardo.com/rocket. Get at me at superjoepardo on all social media or down in the comments below, like cute on you. Appreciate the comments. Keep them coming. I do really, truly appreciate people watching and commenting to this channel. And I'm hopeful that it's helping all of you grow your business, grow your entrepreneurship, grow your investment to your own businesses, maybe give reminders, tips, and such. And then, hey, I'm here to help with any of the entrepreneurship journey, the small business journey that you're on.
We do Partender. Partender comes in and weigh every liquor bottle, so we know exactly how many ounces of everything we have. And we compare it to the cash register, POS system tapes, and we see how much to our potential did we come. This is based upon retail value. We poured $1,290 worth of alcohol, but only took in $960.
I mean, that's better than a lot of other businesses that they've had on the show.
Overpouring. Maybe a gratis drink here and there. When I annualize that, it comes up to $330 in a day, $10,000 in a month, and $120,000 a year. And that's at this low business level.
That never pays my mom off.
Bingo, there it is.
Yeah.
So even on the revenues we had, we could have made $120,000 more. Everything could have been better if we did a better job. So we want to own this. You agree?
The details. It's always in the details. We just print like everything to print, but it's like, well, is printing really necessary in the business? Do we have to do printing? Can we save that cost on that ink cartridge? Or toner cartridge, as well as the paper, as well as having to save up for a new printer when that printer inevitably dies. All these little things just add up, and when you take all the little expenditures, it's like, wow, like we can absolutely save some big time cash or make some big time cash in the profit.
We can do better. I want to get you back to detailing again, because that's what makes this bar great, Greg. And I thought you really had those details when I left.
Here's Godfather. I am the boss of champagnes.
You did, didn't you?
I did, yeah, I did.
What do you think Greg could do to make this place better?
I think we're all a little wet behind the ears. I think we all need to tighten up, definitely, as a group.
Greg, what can they do to make this better for you? And lay it out there. There's got to be something, guys. I want us communicating here.
Honestly, it's entirely up to me. I mean, I'm just letting things slide, and it's my fault for being distracted, trying to do other things besides the bar. It kills me right now that it hasn't been my main concern, and that's what I want to get back to.
And that 120 to your mom is a main concern, too, because I know that from 5 years ago. That meant the world to you.
Still does.
That's the other thing is not only does Greg have his own issues going on, trying to make sure the bills are paid and all that, but he also doesn't want to, you start to let things slide because you're like, well, if I give them a hard time about this or about that, next thing you know, they're like, screw this. Like, I'm just gonna, why don't you just fire me? I'll go on unemployment and collect my check. And then he's really up, a creek without a paddle. So, all of these little things just play into the story of, I let my guard down. I was a little, I was distracted. And I mean, unfortunately for Greg, at the time he didn't have, somebody like a family member pass away, a close friend pass away, or anything like that. With that said, there is a GoFundMe because apparently there was an assault at Champagne's after this show was filmed. And the bartender that worked there, he's not featured in this episode apparently, but he passed away from a heart condition shortly after the assault at Champagne's. And Greg has set up a GoFundMe, so I'll drop a link in the description below about where you can go and do that. I've donated money to it, and I hope that you all all those people in the super community will take up, and even if it's just $10, $20. Every little bit helps when a family is feeling that crunch.
So let's get your focus back here where it needs to be. So here's what I want to do. I want to train you big time this week. I want to train you to be able to train them. so that he has the same knowledge you guys do. He can jump behind the bar, he can help train a new bartender. Guys, pandemic's going to end, and people are getting vaccinated now.
Oh, yeah.
Strip was busy this past weekend. This is about getting ready for what I think could be a monster summer. You guys agree?
I believe so.
So
Yeah, it could be.
let's push ourselves to
Hopefully.
get this to the highest level we possibly can, so we can freaking own this summer. We can get your mom paid back. Let me get my experts in here. She's meet two good friends of mine. Jen Murphy runs a restaurant at Caesar's Palace. I'd say she knows a thing or two. So when she does her work, she has to always understand the history of Caesar's. I can't say enough about this guy. Phil Wells and I have been together for a long time. He's my favorite mixologist in America. What did you see last night, Phil?
Obviously, Jen ordered a drink, and we had lipstick on the glass, so we had to have it remade, and it was made incorrectly, or maybe correctly. We didn't know because it was different from the first drink that was made. So I see a lack of consistency, which in my mind makes me think that people aren't trained correctly in this place, and that's a big thing coming out of this pandemic, is to make sure that your staff is trained perfectly all the time.
The other issue.
And retraining, right? And like I said earlier, you got to constantly be retraining current staff. So, you know, or staff just coming back so that they get with the program, because it's all about muscle memory. And yeah, you might know like, oh, this is where this is, but just having that extra training can go a long way, especially when you just look at like, hey, if we stopped over pouring, we could get $110,000 back at the end of the year.
You have in the kitchen, believe it or not, is you have no power back there. I'm guessing you know this.
No power?
Come on, Greg. You're the owner. You should know this.
Oh, wow. I didn't even know that.
You didn't know he didn't have power in the. Well, I guess he really has been distracted, and if you can't tell from John's face, it's disappointing for him to hear.
You have no power back there. I'm guessing you know this.
No power?
There's no power. I can't put a 30 amp oven back there. The only power you have back there is 110.
Oh, wow. I didn't even know that.
So I'm dealing with a number of problems. I'm dealing with his food licensing issues, parking, restrooms, everything connected to the food license. And I got 48 hours to do it, guys. So I got my own problems too. Now you guys really have to go to work, okay? You guys ready? Okay, let's go to it.
What's up, guys? How's it going, Phil? Let's talk about last night a little bit. Strike one, we sat too long to get greeted and get our drink order. Strike two, we had lipstick on the drink. Strike three, we had the wrong drink being remade and coming back to us. So 3 strikes and you're what? Out.
Yep.
Last time John was here, he put all the tools in place to make this bar successful.
Go, let's go, come on.
Here we go, guys.
It's amazing what you can do with this food, isn't it? Excellent.
Now coming back, they aren't using those tools, and that's on Greg. Greg needs to be the one to make sure that there is consistency within his staff. So Chris and Riley, I'm going to ask you guys to step out. I'm going to work with Greg, and then you guys are going to come back in, and he's going to train you.
All right, sounds good.
Cool. All right. First thing we're going to do is what we call a muddle. So we're going to start off with strawberry, okay? 1, 2. This is actually lychee. I plop that in right there. We're going to do a ½ ounce of simple syrup. Get your muddler in there. Give it about 8 turns. 1 ounce of vodka, a ½ ounce of dry vermouth, and 2 dashes of orange bitters. And we're going to fill with ice after. Last night I saw Chris putting ice in first and building drinks in
I
there.
noticed that too, yeah.
Okay? And if you noticed it, why didn't you correct him?
I just blew it off, I guess. I don't know.
You can't do that, man.
Yeah.
You can't do that.
Yeah.
You won't pull out of this and get your mom paid back if you just blow off these little details, okay?
Yeah.
All right, so let's go ahead and give it a nice shake. And then we're just gonna pour it right inside the glass. See that beautiful color? So we're gonna top it off with some sparkling wine here, and then a nice strawberry and a whole lychee. We're gonna call this one Between the Sheets.
It does feel really good to dive back into the bar. I know how important the details are, and I intend to be very mindful of all those details. 1 ounce of vodka to make sure that everything's getting made the right way and the same way by all my bartenders. No, we want to put 2 dashes of
Put the bitters down.
Okay. I guess we need to muddle this.
Okay. I'm a little nervous because you're the one that's gonna be training the staff.
We're gonna muddle this about 8 times. Now we're ready to add the ice to it.
3 strawberries and 1 liter, right?
Yeah, so why are you doing this first before you put ice in? No. I'm sorry, I'm asking you. Because you don't want to dilute it while you're making the drink. You don't want to put the ice in first.
Okay.
Greg was lighthearted about training, but I feel that he got the point across, and I think these drinks will absolutely do their job and elevate the bar.
Stress that tonight, guys. Greg, it's so important that you are in charge and making sure that every single drink comes out correctly.
Gotcha.
Cool? Cool. You guys ready?
You're ready.
No, you're not. Let's rock this tonight, all right, guys?
I'm guessing that they only featured the 2 bartenders because it was easier from a COVID standpoint, but like the other episodes showed more people. And as you can see here, they are open 24 hours, which makes it kind of hard to, paint that unless you do it, I don't know, at like 3 o'clock in the morning or something, 4 o'clock in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning.
All right, guys, you getting ready over here? Let's all talk. Come on over. For stress test tonight, I want to see Greg manage. I want to see the place be organized. I want to see the bartenders be fast. I'm going to put about 12 people in that bar tonight. That's it, because of COVID restrictions. They should knock it out of the park tonight. So we're not going to open the kitchen tonight because we got to get another person here. I want you guys to focus on the bar tonight. Make sense?
Yeah.
Watch them on pours. If a drink doesn't look right, dump it. Make them do it again. Okay, guys? Let's get ready.
Awesome.
Welcome to Champagne's. Come on in.
How we doing? Welcome to Champagne's.
How you doing, guys?
Can I get that between the sheets?
Between the sheets. That sounds like a good one. Ah, man. Let you.
Chris, what are you doing wrong?
I'm forgetting steps. 1, 2, 3.
Great. What is he doing wrong right now?
You've already got the ice in.
I've already got the ice in.
You gotta get the ice in.
Right out of the gate.
Sorry second one.
Sorry about that.
Riley, you gotta mute quicker. All right, it's the same drink. All right, let's go. Come on, guys. Chris, what are you doing wrong?
Why?
Greg, what is Chris doing wrong? You gotta muddle before you put anything else in there. You extract all the juices out of there, right? Please restart. Let's do it right. That's what we learned, right, Greg? That's right. Watch your bartenders. Okay. I need you to make sure that you catch that, not me.
I was just getting crushed myself. I could not figure out how to try to keep up with all the drinks and watch my bartenders at the same time.
What's Chris doing wrong? Did he put the vodka in?
I did.
Did he put the gin in?
Did you say the gin?
Or did he?
Uh-oh. Jeez,
See, my
man.
eyes are on it. Your eyes need to be on it, Greg. This is what I'm talking about. If I'm not here, who's going to be watching this?
Man, I'm coming, man. Sorry about that.
Chris, I want you to focus, brother. Take a deep breath and focus, all right?
Gotcha, man.
Chris hasn't gotten one drink out.
2, 3, 4. I know.
You look like an old lady trying to stir a cocktail. That's not how I train you, bro. Come on.
Nobody has a drink.
Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up.
Only 12.
These two girls
12
are
people.
depressed. They look sitting and waiting there.
I got 2 between the sheets coming up for you right now.
Let's move, let's move, let's move.
Oh, I hope that didn't go on the
This one. I
ice.
just have one order.
I just have one order.
Come on, dude. You got to pick it up a little bit more now. All right, so 2 Manhattans, and then I owe you a Sinatra.
I'm going to go inside and see what the hell's slowing us all down.
There we go. Let's go. Move it, guys. Keep going.
Got 3 glasses?
2 glasses?
Yes. So I only got 1.
Chris, we need our gloves.
I don't have that same glass.
They take that towel that's sitting there. Make it dry as his glasses.
Oh my God. I did not even see that. Stop! These towels, what are they used for? I was using them to wipe down those. To dry the glasses. Yes, sir. You dry a glass, sit it on top before. Take a dry glass, sit it on top. So what happens with this? Cross-contamination, right?
Cross-contamination, yes. That was a huge mistake. That's a huge no-no. I should have known that. It's just that when you're in the weeds, you kind of get caught in the moment.
I'd like to think that we don't have to dry our glassware, that we can drip dry like other places.
Right. We need some more training on that.
Yes, sir.
Good? Missing a drink, though. Oh, you're still missing one. Well, how are your drinks? Ghostly. So nobody's even taken your order yet? Has anybody taken your order?
Not yet.
Not yet. So can you scream, Greg? Let's call them together. 1, 2, 3. Greg! We got to get an order on this table here. We're coming right.
Well, they gotta create some kind of energy considering the fact there's only 12 people in this bar. Yeah, I mean, they definitely need a better job with the training and just taking a breath. Take a breath, slow down, and make sure you're doing the right things. I want to point out their credit card little thing there is pretty worn out. Needs to be it probably shouldn't even be there. Or should very much be replaced. One or the other. One or the other. Also, they still have those T-shirts up there. I think, having a T-shirt. Speaking of which, if you're a fan of the Super Joe Pardo Show, these Biz Coach Reacts video, I have 2 T-shirt and hat designs coming out in the not too distant future. So get subscribed so you don't miss when those go live. But having pieces of paper like with the cost of the shirts and even a shirt being $15 seems pretty cheap for what should be a high-end restaurant kind of or atmosphere experience.
What do you guys?
There's a lot of work to do on accuracy.
It just doesn't send the right message. Oh, there's those 3D barcodes again.
And speed, both. We may have about 12 people in here, I was thinking. Could you imagine if this was falling Friday night? It would be a total fail.
That 3D barcode doesn't look like it's like stuck to the table at all. It looks like it's kind of like just sitting, like it's a piece of paper just sitting on top, which is not good. That should be like it's maybe laminated and then taped to it or something to that effect, or maybe tape it to the back of the napkin and straw holder there instead, so it's not sitting on the bar.
Accuracy and speed, both. We may have about 12 people in here, I was thinking. Could you imagine if this was falling Friday night? It would be a total fail.
Yeah, it would.
It's amazing chaos back here, isn't it? The stations aren't set up with any pivot. No. Here we go.
The bartender should have everything they need within a 2-foot radius and just kind of move right within that area.
And pivot.
Yes.
We got no pivot.
Stop. What are you doing?
I was actually just trying to do this.
No, man. We don't stir cocktail with this right in this teaspoon.
Come on, guys. We went over this last time I was here.
Tell me you have a bar spoon.
I don't know where it is.
I have a bar spoon right here. So unprofessional, though, man.
You're turning us into a truck stop here. We're trying to have a little class here.
Do better.
You know what? Oh.
That's not good.
He's a little concerned about this huge piece of dust that's hanging over his ribs. This is disgusting.
Costs nothing to dust. But it's so easy to overlook these types of things again when you're stressed out and the things aren't going right.
I know. I went to drink it.
Greg, you see this?
I see it.
That was nasty. Great. Now let's wipe up the bar, get both of them some fresh drinks, and let's whistle. Come on, guys. This is disgusting. Filth is the one thing that turns everybody off, doesn't it? Suddenly you don't want to touch anything, drink anything, see anything. This should not have been there. I cleaned it 5 years ago when I was here. I'm guessing it hasn't been cleaned since I left. So there it is. Okay, guys, let's start closing. I've seen what I need to see. We got a lot of work to do here. Everybody agree?
Gotta do a better job of hiding those cables too. Doing what you can, especially in a professional environment. You gotta hide those cards. And as I say that, you just look above my head here. There's cables. You know, look, I wish we could get rid of all cables. If it was up to me, everything would be wireless, everything. But there's situations where cables just have to be there, like this cable. I would prefer to not have it, but it just makes life a little bit easier. So, but doing what you can to try to hide those cables or try to, make it look like like it's commercially, professionally, installed, like it's meant to, like it's supposed to be there.
Come back in 2 days. We'll show you how it's done right, okay? Fact of the matter is, it was a disorganized mess tonight, and for that reason they failed. Had the bar been really full post-COVID, it would have been a complete failure. Okay, let's get this together. Make sure that table is served.
Based on what I saw during stress test, we had a lot of inconsistency with the cocktails. Today, we're going to complete the menu with some great classic cocktails. What's up, guys? John and I spent a lot of time on this cocktail menu, made some tweaks and brought some new things in. We talked about playing homage to all the history that you guys have with this next cocktail. It's a version of a classic called a Rusty Nail, but we're going to put some fun little twist to it, and we're going to call this one Sammy's Rusty Nail. Let me get COVID safe for you guys. Let's go ahead and start off with our rocks class. So normally,
so he talked that whole time.
But we're going to put some fun little twist to it, and we're going to call
right across the bar from them, and then he's like, "Oh well, let me get COVID safe for you now. Now I'm gonna make your drink."
Rusty Nail. Let me get COVID safe for you guys. Let's go ahead and start off with our rocks glass. So normally a classic Rusty Nail would do scotch, but we're gonna reach for Frey Ranch whiskey. We're gonna pour 1.5 ounces. Our Scotch herbal liqueur, 3/4 ounce. We're gonna get a nice fresh piece of sage, give it a little smack, wake up all those aromatics, kind of rub it around the glass, and then drop that in. So we have this great brand new tool that's called the Middleton Smoke Top. We put the sage and the wood chips inside of it, and then we're gonna light it on fire, and you guys will see the effect. See how that smoke just dripping right down inside of there? And it's a sexy presentation. It looks great. It's a wow factor. Make sure you release that. You get all the aromatics coming out, and then that's the Sammy's Rusty Nail. So last night, Chris, I felt like you had the most work as far as technique and everything. So we're gonna bring you back here and have you make a cocktail.
I'm a little nervous for the relaunch. I woke up thinking about every single item I need to put in every drink.
Love it. Yeah, man, you have to beat it up.
It's gonna be a very exciting, nervous night.
Oh, bro.
We get it this time?
I would literally drink that all day long.
Hey guys, I just want to introduce myself again. I'm Jennifer Murphy from Caesar's Palace, and Greg, it's great to see you. I think it's really important for Greg to be a part of this training. He's the owner of this business. He needs to know not just the bar program, but if we're going to do food, he needs to understand that inside and out as well. And I see you have a friend with you. Who do you have here?
This is our newest employee, Anthony.
Anthony,
Hi, how are you?
What's up,
I was not
Evan?
sure what to expect when I first walked in. I'll work hard. I'll step up to the plate.
The first sandwich I'm going to show you is the Chipotle chicken.
Looking like a undercover agent or something there, with the nondescript black hat or blue hat, I don't know, and a black hoodie.
So we are going to add our cheese. We're going to be adding some pepper jack, chicken that we've just sliced up thinly. Then we're going to add some nice caramelized onions. Then I have some roasted red bell peppers, and then a little bit of bacon. So that goes right down on there on a bias, and we're going to do that for 4 minutes. A good indication that it's done is that it's not sticking to the grill. That's going to complete my
That
sandwich.
looks good.
Super flavorful. There's a lot of different things going on. It's
Absolutely delicious, and all the flavors just blend very well together.
All right, good. We've got to get this place ready for relaunch, so I'll see you in a bit.
Well, hopefully he's got some cooking background.
My mom and I are getting ready to meet John. I'm hoping that John's going to reassure my mom that everything's going to be okay.
I know that you went to.
How about you reassure your mom that everything's going to be okay, Greg? Come on, man. I know the stress is there, but come on. Come on now. You leave everything up to John.
The money to open this bar. But, you lent him that money. You didn't give it to him, right? Right. Last time we met 5 years ago, you told me that your mom gave you $150,000. I come back 5 years later. He's only paid you back like $27,000. So what happened the past 5 years, and where are the checks from mom?
Well, after the first rescue, it still took me a while to get that place making money. The sales were going up the whole time. The profits didn't really come until that last year before COVID.
But the most successful bar rescue I've ever done was Spirits on Bourbon.
Which Hey, if you haven't watched that episode, get subscribed because I got Spirits on Bourbon. We just released that a couple of weeks ago. So, and I did that with the at Bar Rescue _tours, I believe, on Instagram. He came on and he actually went to that bar, so we got to talk about the things that have been there and the changes that have happened. So go check that episode out.
Absolutely.
But I wanna while this Gorilla's there, I wanna. It's really interesting that he's saying that while sales was going up, the profits were not really there, was not really growing. So until the last year, so I would like to. I mean, I'm guessing maybe he had a lot of back bills he still owed. So not only did it owe his mom, but he also owed a lot of back bills. So it's understandable that he had to get those paid up so that like he wasn't. Falling behind where they're like, oh, we're going to turn off your electric or whatever. So, and pay the back rent or whatever, thing like that. But, but to take for like 3 years to start getting out of a hole so that you could get some profits so that you could pay back your mom is tough. Right. So to me, I would have, take a pay cut, man, and start paying that debt back as quickly as you possibly can, because you never know. As if COVID's taught us anything, you never know when tomorrow something else is going to be that nail in the coffin, and be like, oh well, we were just starting to make headroom and now we're back in a hole again. So always make sure that you're doing everything you can to fulfill, pay back the people that believe in you.
Brad Bohannon, who's my dear buddy who runs that place in New Orleans, we guess we've increased his sales by well over $10 million. Wow. I asked Brad to fly up here and to spend some time with you today and to share with you the marketing things that he's done that have really been successful for him.
Awesome.
So be all ears, because you can't argue with success.
No. Nice to meet you. I heard a lot about you from Jon today.
Same here. Nice to meet you too.
I'm Brad Bohannon. I'm one of the owners of Spirits on Bourbon. I was honored that Jon called me to ask me to sit down with Greg. When Jon Taffer calls me, anytime, no matter what it is, I'm here to help. So how have you adapted with the pandemic?
Honestly, I haven't adapted that well at all.
Is there stuff that you can do to take advantage of it to get new customers?
I'm not really sure. I really don't know.
I started selling cheeseburgers. I was a cheeseburger stand. I didn't ever want to be in the cheeseburger business where that was what I was known for, but I had to adapt to keep my employees working. No matter what is going on, there's someone going to be making money, and it might as well be you.
I've had a lot of trouble trying to come up with ideas. I've just started driving to make my living, and the bar has taken second place.
You're getting by is hurting your long-term.
Right.
Greg's biggest problem is he's stepping over $1 to make a nickel, and I think Jon's going to straighten that out where he can make some money.
I sure appreciate you coming out here all the way from New Orleans to help us out.
It's an honor to work with the Bar Rescue family. I have faith in you.
Brad definitely helped me remember that I need to bring my focus back to champagnes. I need to be 100% in on this, and I am.
Yeah, and you do, right? That's one of those big things where it's like you get knocked off, you get your focus is not quite there, and and sometimes it's not the pandemic. Sometimes it's a second business that you start up or a second location that you start up, and it's just these things play such a massive role in the success and maintaining the success that you've had in those other businesses. So to me, like if you're in Greg's situation and you're like, oh, things are going well, but I feel like I need some help, reach out to somebody else. Look, I'm here, like, not shameless plug. Like, I am here to help entrepreneurs and small business owners create and save jobs. Hands down, full stop. That's what I'm here for. So, you reach out to me, you reach out to somebody else in the bar industry, in the marketing industry. Look, reach out to somebody that can help you. It's starting to make sense, right? The sign change that he made. I think he probably was looking at like, oh no, things are kind of sliding. It's not going as great as as it was 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 4 years ago. Or the pandemic. Let me get the original sign back up, because that is going to be what brings people back in. They're going to see that sign and remember that from the 60s. That this was the place to be. So ultimately, that's not what brought people in the first place, and is likely to not be what brings people in. To me, whenever you have an opportunity to create something different from the norm, what people are driving by every day, do it. So whether it's a sign spinning guy or a wacky waving inflatable arm man, going, something just to break up the monotony of people that drive by your business every single day. Come up with something different. Move something to somewhere else. Put a sign in a different place. Change the sign up. Well, in this case, he went back to the original sign. But I mean, like any kind of like TP signs or anything like that. Messaging on the signs that, you know, like the little letters that you can pop in. Do something to break up the people that are driving. You know, the most natural marketing point that you have is where you're located and the people that are driving by or stuck in traffic going right by your place every day. So don't discount the fact that, you know, you could be on a road that gets 10,000 people a day or 10,000 people a week driving by your place. You know, utilize the assets that you have. It doesn't have to be expensive. It doesn't have to be crazy. It just has to be enough to get people to notice you. And if your sign is going, you know, is looking like it's not very bright or anything like that, get up and change some light bulbs. You know, get somebody to change those light bulbs.
How are you, Greg?
Good, excited.
So, this bar has been in existence for a long, long time. There's a lot of history here.
Absolutely.
That's why I came back. Not only because of you, but because you got a great bar here. Not a lot of people get to own a piece of history.
Yeah.
But, you know, your mom gave you this incredible opportunity. So I want to dedicate this not only to you, but to her, so that Mary can walk in this bar and see how excited her son is. So you guys ready to see it?
Ready, absolutely.
All right, here we go. 1, 2.
John gonna put his sign back up.
Yes. 2. 3.
Yes. Hell yeah. Look at that. Oh, dude, that looks great.
Well, Greg?
Definitely digging it.
So look at the new color of the building. It doesn't match the buildings next to it. It pops. It has an identity all of its own.
That's what I really wanted, is to be more noticeable.
So there's only one thing left.
Gotta stand out. Though,
Okay.
I mean, right next door to you is
More noticeable.
a sign, you know, all tennis shoes, $9.99. We are open. What are they at 20? Well, I guess they're open through the pandemic, but yeah, you definitely need something that stands out. I don't know if that necessarily stands out, but it's not bad. I want to see what their sign looks
So there's
like.
only one thing left.
Oh, gotta see it now.
Okay, go ahead.
Ah, look, there's the Champagne's Cafe T-shirt. I wish I could read what that says underneath. But they got the wallpaper still.
Finally, yes. I love it. Oh, nice.
Looking good.
It's so much better. That's amazing. Holy cow. Oh, man. I'm so excited to see this. This place looks beautiful. There's so much of Las Vegas history just came right back in these doors. We're ready to go work. We're ready to get back there.
What do you think, guys?
I love it.
It's awesome.
Look at this.
It's amazing.
Oh, my God.
Did you notice that T-shirt that said I've
I
seen
did.
on Bar
First thing
Rescue?
I noticed, actually.
Okay, so I wonder what it said underneath. But yeah, as seen on Bar Rescue. That's great.
So I set you up with a bunch of those T-shirts to sell. I got Crown to put in jetter system.
Wow.
I got PathSpot to give you guys 2 hand scanners. When you wash your hands, you put your hand under the scanner, and it gives you a red light if there's any bacteria or viral matter on your hands. If your hands are really clean, then you get a green light. Then I got you Blue Zones by Middleby. That's an air scrubbing system. It removes 99.999% of bacteria, viral, and any airborne contaminants from the air. We
That's
are
awesome.
COVID safe here. Then I got Harbor Touch to give us 3 new POS systems and 2 portables. Then I got Atmosphere TV, so you can create a whole ambient video network. Then I got Sound, Sight, and Data to do all the audio and visual work and the stage lighting as well. Then I got
Nice.
Standard Restaurant Supply to give you guys a panini press in the kitchen. We can sell some food here.
Okay.
Remember that bartender screen I showed you guys?
Yeah.
I got your subscription to Bartender. Share the numbers with them. And if they hit some targets, give them a bonus. Right? That's money you're happy to give them.
Yeah.
So tonight, everybody has the same job. Get them back.
Ready.
Let's go to work.
Let's go to work. Hey guys, welcome to Champagne. Come on in. I'm feeling fantastic about our opening. This is amazing.
We got more than 12 people to come in now.
And he's done it for me twice. I know I can do a better job than I have been doing. I'm way more focused on the bar now, and I know it's all going to come together.
Welcome to Champagne. How are you?
Hopefully it stays that way, sir.
Right back Manhattan. Between the sheets?
Chipotle chicken? All right.
So what do you think?
I think Anthony's doing a wonderful job. You know, he came late to training, but he caught up really quick.
Grill marks are great on the bread. It's cooking perfectly. And you can put 4 or 5 sandwiches on here at the same time.
Yeah.
Great job, chef.
You got a turkey BLT? You're welcome.
Beat it up hard, beat it up hard, beat it up hard. Y'all find your flow, y'all find your flow. Nice. Chris is doing a great job. Once he gets the idea of paying attention to the details of the details, then he's really getting the concept of what it is to be a great bartender.
All right, this is the VIP section. You're perfect.
He already took my order, clean the sheets. Okay. That's the one I wanted, right?
Okay, you got it. Good job tonight, right? You know, one thing interesting about COVID, since we can't fill the room and slam the bar like we normally did, we can have a much greater focus on quality. And right now they have that. Every drink is coming out just right. They're being tapped, they're being presented well, the food is being presented well. Every table looks great, every product looks great. You know, I'm not here because you failed. I'm here because the pandemic closed you down.
Thank you very much.
You happy?
Yeah, I'm very happy.
Excellent. Well, my work is done. So I'm going to go off and rescue the next one. There's a lot of them out there. Congratulations, buddy.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Good night.
Greg is a good guy, and he understands that he really is the steward of history in Champagne's Cafe. It's a great bar with a rich Las Vegas history, and that history must be told and must go on. And now Greg has all the tools to do it. And before you know it, COVID's going to quiet down, and this bar will be packed again.
So wait, oh, the sign is the same. No, the sign's the same. Oh man, okay, so he didn't change the sign. I guess he wasn't going to change the sign and then have him just change the sign back. So, awesome, good job. You know, congratulations to Greg and congratulations to Jon Taffer and his team for pulling off yet another awesome rescue. And if you enjoyed this bar rescue Biz Coach Reacts video, go click on I think over here I will put the preview video I did on Champagne's, where I went through their website and their social media and all that, and a lot of what I've seen there now makes sense seeing the episode, this newest episode. So yeah, that's awesome that he was able to go in and help them. Hopefully Greg gets the help he needs for long-term success, not just based around the short-term success of reinvigorating the space. And hopefully his mom can start to get paid back. If you've enjoyed this episode, please consider smashing that like button for the YouTube algorithm. Get subscribed so you never miss another Biz Coach Reacts video. I will see you in the next video, and take care.